Media mogul Tbo Touch has moved to clarify that all payments due to Lisiba Gwangwa have been made following a Sunday Times report. In this conversation, he also speaks about his 2026 Replenishment Concert and the return of the four-pipe Convoy to the Metro FM Music Awards in April and a new multi-million rand deal.
The fact that there's enough information that I've submitted to the editor, I trust that the correction will be diligently executed, because by the time of publication there was no dispute to warrant that type of an article. The back and forth happened between October 2025 and every matter rand and cent was settled literally on the 27th of November. So in Jan, to hear of a story that there's dispute on a matter that arose from October, it was just inaccurate and misinformed. The paper was misinformed. That's all I can say.
Because didn't you have a mind to, more especially on the issue of the replenishment, to give us something on the replenishment? Because I know that that's actually one of the big things that you are unhappy about.
Yeah.
What happened when we asked for evidence on that? Because also the issues were...
so remember how...
Issues?
So here's what happened. I was traveling when you reached out to me, but you sent me 4 questions. All 4 questions related to a car. So I said, Namfla, please treat this urgently. I think she's under a deadline. So there was no mention of an event. For me, those 4 questions, the first one I remember was about a shortfall. The second one was about the balance of, it was all car related. When I saw the article, then there were mentions of the event. I'm like, whoa, I should have had the opportunity to even show you that anything regarding the event, there were actually profits made. So the gentleman invested, I think 800 something, and he made over 1 million rands that was paid to him, 20% of that. So the questions had there been anything to do with the replenishment, I would have furnished you with every detail of the back and forth and all the payments that were made. But on November 27th, there was nothing outstanding owed to him. He made money. So when it's labeled failed, it failed if you lost money. Then it's a failed experience. But if you made money from the very same event and you got paid those dividends, the issue is, by interpretation, how is it a failure when you've made over a bar? Like, it's in your pocket. Here are the proof of payments paid to you. Settlement of a car. Here are the proof of payments paid to you. So the whole December goes. 7th of Jan, I hear from you, I think around 10:30 something.
Yeah,
I'm boarding a flight. By the time I land, you've exchanged conversations with my attorney. So I'm thinking, okay, thank God she responded on time, but there was also cease and desist. I'm not aware. But I'm judging from the 4 questions that were presented to me. Even if I answered you comprehensively, there was no mention of the event itself. So I felt like when there was that part mentioned, like, oh, had Kafalo offered me that opportunity, it would have been addressed. It was the issue of the sunroof that was raised, which was new in our dispute. And I said, let me get an invoice. Because you say you are out of pocket. Out of pocket means I paid for the cracked sunroof. Here's the copy. I didn't get that. You know what I did? You can wake up right now. That bracelet, the Swazi bracelet, right? You borrow it to me, I put it on, and it snaps. And you say, it cost me 50,000 rand. And I'm like, oh, shucks. Please give me a copy of the receipt. Until such a time, it's me, you saying it cost 80 something. I think they said the sunroof was 86,000 rand. You know what I did? I paid it with the spare key. 96,000. I paid it before publication. Proof of payment. Look into those copies. There's a FSD, there's a RMV, POP. I gave it to you. I still don't have till this day the copy of the cost. I show you there was an agenda here, and the idea is to create this narrative which does not exist. So I'm sitting here because I'm trying to dispel that narrative. The RMB POP was the last dispute that I could probably think that's the only matter that arose, but it was brought to my attention on the 7th to say we are demanding fixing of the sunroof and the spare key. You would have never published that article if it was all about the sunroof in the article. At the time you published and you reached out to me, the only matter that was outstanding between myself and that guy was the sunroof and the spare key, which was brought to me formally on the 7th of Jan. Hence, if you roll the story for another week and you got enough documentation, you would have realized here that, oh my goodness, Sunday Times is being used to mislead the public, and that warrant a lot of defamation. There could have been legal issues. But come on, I respect, I've done the digital arena. I'm a business person. I'm not putting this on Sunday Times. I'm putting it on someone who goes to the papers and misinforms the papers and create this narrative, thinking by the time you publish, because I know my name sells. That's why you put me on the cover. I'm Tbo Touch. Let's not get it twisted. You put me on the cover because you knew I'm Touch. Now you better put me back on the cover and fix it. Because you know what? I say, if it was some guy's kumbuzo, you would have made it page 15, but I'm page 3, and I appreciate that. But I put it factual.
But Touch, what do you think is this thing with black entrepreneurs, especially males, who they try to bring down? Because you wouldn't see this with a white entrepreneur male, especially. Why is it that I would call it black on black violence in a way? But
do your maths, okay?
Yeah.
Let's assume there's 70,000 prominent entrepreneurs in this country, black. Ask yourself how many of them come from a complete unit of family that is raised on the principle of respect, love. A lot of us, if you really, really understand demographics of black people, including prominent ones, we became successful out of the struggle or the pain not to go back to poverty. And because of that pain, there's a grain of bitterness when somebody like you and I does not just make it, but shifts the barometer. I see myself as a barometer shifter. You know, when I was 16 and I was afforded the opportunity to study in New York, I said, anybody at that time, I was clear, my offspring, they need to be afforded an opportunity to have a first-class experience. Now, my boys were at St. David's. When I sat there and I realized that, one, they've never been in a public transport. They've never been in an environment where they are taking extramural activities freely in public. I saw them living in a bubble because they come into these estates, they're living in a life where if they go out to the world, they're going to get crushed. I said, we're getting out of here. And the move to Australia was to afford them what I had. I had first world experience of high school, from high school as a teenager. So my sons could not finish high school in SA. Why? I need them to know how to ride a train. I need them to know how to ride a bus. I need them to know how to maneuver in a world where they come from a third world and they must fight to be invited to the main table. If they are able to do that coming from a family of a present father, a present mother, they will embrace those principles in another black person. Some of us grow in space of being prominent in an affluent environment with a lot of deficits. Our brothers are hurting. We just don't talk about it. But how do we reveal it? When I make it, I want to flaunt it and I want you to see it, but I will not show you how I got it. So when one of us get it and this person is in proximity with you, it's inevitable for that grain of envy, and you just see yourself, it could have been me, why him? Now, I feel like I have an opportunity that's why gossip columns are the biggest than any other forum of communication. Because that's how wounded people comfort themselves. What's our shy boss? It happens with women. I work in an environment where when women are emancipating themselves, be it in the media space, the question is, she's sleeping with somebody powerful. When it's men growing in the very same space as men, man, no, he's doing this, he's corrupt, he's got a dark side to him. So most people, black men, we look at life through a very cracked lens, and it distorts how we interpret success. Our first big announcement or first big concierge experience is we're taking people to Durban for the Metro Awards in partnership with BP. For those who remember, I started the four-pipe convoy, supercars driving from Joburg. It was called the Touch Convoy. So we're bringing it back this year. Myself, Six Pandwini, many other friends, we're bringing back the four-pipe convoy to the Metro FM Music Awards for April 25th, to be exact. So if you got a four-pipe at home, brace yourself. You get to be rewarded with a full tank card. Bring your machine. It's going to be a great experience. We're going to stop. I think in Howick, there's a foundation that we're working with where we're going to be donating school materials. I'll get the exact name of this foundation because we don't want to just do a drive without a cause. So given the economic conditions, for those who have, it's only fair to extend that opportunity to give back. So we're creating this platform as a means of bridging between the two worlds, and look forward to having new drivers. Look forward to having those who are excited that the metros are back in Durban. So there's a lot of activities that we have to good things for 2026. You see, when you look at the roads in Joburg, for anybody who owns an exotic car, unfortunately, you don't get to enjoy it because of the conditions of the roads in Joburg. So there is the longest stretch of uninterrupted pure infrastructure in terms of road system is the N3 and the N1. So we know for a fact that there's partners in Villiers we work with and Howick. The stops that we make, we partner with the local authorities there to bring the kids to come actually rev the cars. I'm a product. Let me tell you why I'm passionate so much about the Convoy. I grew up in an era where in Sharpeville, there was this guy, Brazeki. He was the first guy to come in the hood with a Porsche. And one day he said, "Can I go, my boy?" And I said, "One day I'm going to have this car." There's things, when a mind is stretched to a certain extent, it's not possible to go back to poverty. And it takes exposure. Sometimes you don't need to have it. You just gotta have that vision to say, this is attainable. I've been in it. I've touched it. So kids enjoy that. Kids enjoy getting in a Lambo. And it's no longer something in the magazine they read about. It's like, I've been in it. I can own it. So ours is just to push, the boundary and impact the status quo. To say it's us in these cars. You can do it. You know what I mean? So, apart from the CSI element to it, I've never advertised the course that I do. Every year I give out a lot of school shoes. I work very close with the Zota Koza Foundation in Deep Kloof. We do so many things. I grew up in a church home, so I don't believe in publicizing good work. You know what I mean? Because it's not my thing. I hated it when I grew up in a church home. We'll have missionaries come over, take pictures of us receiving gifts and toys. And I said, I'll never put anybody in that position because I've been there. I know what it is to be an object of a charity, and there's no nobility in poverty. 2026 marks fifth annual. This is our fifth annual Replenishment Concert, and the excitement about this one is we have tested with Hezekiah Walker last year. It was our first introduction of an international artist. I'm happy to announce that for the first time, it's moving from Pretoria to Johannesburg. So we are going to a Joburg venue after 5 years consecutively. We are bringing in 2 mega international artists. Replenishment is usually a one-day event on Saturday only. So this year we're doing 2 days. And we're going to be on Friday scheduled to do a women experience. And Saturday we'll do the usual family day. The beauty of this one is we're introducing a new sponsor whom we confirmed this year that will ensure our patrons literally get from home to the venue transported by this amazing partner. And the venue itself, it's a different We are famous for the Super Sport Park Stadium because it allows a lot of activations for brands involvement. So we are replicating almost the same thing for Joburg, but the big announcement is we have a number one carrier in the country partnering with us, two international acts, and obviously our plethora of local performers. So it's bigger this year. Many people have said we're bringing in the same artist. We're trying to do it different. And the partnership with SABC has been enormous because the past 4 years we've literally shot a TV version that you'll be seeing soon on the screens. So I'm pretty excited with that the property is growing. We're gonna make it more for the masses. So when we announce our tickets on the 7th of March, to be exact, grab that opportunity because we've never had our event this low. Why? We realize historically, because of the premium lineup, tickets do become quite expensive. So we are literally shaving tickets as low as under $100. It has never happened. From 500 general, our VIP has gone up to five grand. So we're gonna bring everybody from all walks of life. Because the truth of the matter is, it's a replenishment concert. This is about us congregating before the festive, give God some praise to say it's been a great year. So we don't want to lose the crux of the event by making it too commercial. Hence we said, let's afford everybody the opportunity to be there. And we are grateful for the commitment of our sponsors because they did express commitment as in 2026 and beyond. So I'm super excited with that. We've got a big partner, BP. I'm also super excited to say there is no replenishment without the likes of Spoon Noah. So the entire lineup will be revealed. The international artist will also be announced in March, but you heard it first. So we got two this year, and one is from Nigeria.